What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and this is the UFC Fight Island 8 full card predictions, weigh-in recap, as well as the betting odds. So let's get into the first fight of the night. Female bout here, Manon Fiorot. She takes on Victoria Leonardo. Victoria, good win on the Dana White's Contender Series recently for her opponent, Fiorot. She recently fought at UAE Warriors. Level of competition, there has been a difference. I feel Leonardo has fought the tougher girls. I think she's going to be very gritty and dangerous here. I mean, if you look at the size, similar height, a little bit shorter for Leonardo, has the experience edge, weights practically the same, 125.5 for Leonardo, Fiorot with 126. I like Victoria Leonardo to win this fight. The betting odds at the moment have Leonardo, see what she's sitting at if we can find this here, plus 177 to Manon Fiorot at the minus 192. Fiorot's got good skills. She is the favorite, but I'm riding with the experience edge. Leonardo was underestimated and doubted on the Contender Series. She came up big as an underdog. I believe she has possibility to do it again, and I am riding with her in this matchup. Now, next fight of the night, Sergey Morozov takes on Umar Nurmagomedov. Another Nurmagomedov inside of the octagon. Both fighters on weight, 135 for Moroz, and 136 for Nurmagomedov. As far as this matchup goes, let me quickly pull up some stats about both them. Height difference, not much. They're about the same exact height. Both very good records. 12-0 is Nurmagomedov. 16-3 is Sergey Morozov. I like Nurmagomedov. He's aggressive. He's obviously a very good wrestler. And I think that he's going to win this matchup here in a competitive bout. I mean, granted, heavy underdog is Morozov, but you can't doubt him here. I'm leaning towards possibly a decision for Nurmagomedov. Could also see maybe a second or third round stoppage. I think Morozov is game, but Nurmagomedov should go on and win this fight. As far as the betting odds at this moment, minus 500 is Nurmagomedov and plus 400 is Morozov. I feel like it makes sense that it's that widespread, I guess, with the Nurmagomedov name. He's unbeaten, but you can't sleep on very tough Sergey Morozov. If I'm botching his name, I completely apologize there, but I do have Nurmagomedov winning this fight. Next fight of the night, Mason Jones takes on Mike Davis. Intriguing matchup between these two guys. Mike Davis, I believe he's coming off a loss. He's a decent fighter, good striking. He's taking on Mason Jones, who's a 10-0 prospect from Wales. Funny enough, he is, I believe, the underdog, Mason Jones, who has a ton of hype. As of right now, Mason Jones is a plus 145 dog. Mike Davis, the minus 155 favorite. Both fighters on weight, looking ready to fight, in good shape, not substantial size difference either way. As far as Mike Davis goes, I do want to quickly bring up his last bout. It was a win against Thomas Gifford. Before that, though, he did lose to Gilbert Burns. So early on in his UFC career, fought some very tough competition. Also, Sadiq Youssef beat him on the Contender Series. Mason Jones, up-and-coming guy. He's the underdog here against a game Mike Davis. I have to ride with Jones on the momentum side of things. I do think he can get it done here. Mike Davis, though, no slouch. Potential for victory here, and he is the favorite in this matchup, so the dog may not come through and win this fight, but I am going to ride with the underdog and undefeated underdog, Mason Jones here. Next fight, Jerome Rivera, who I was very impressed with on the Dana White's Contender Series. He takes on the brother of Deiveson Figueiredo, Francisco Figueiredo. Height difference, Jerome Rivera has the advantage here. I like this fight. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, Francisco Figueiredo, I believe, has some fairly good experience in the more Brazilian regional scene. 11-3-1 as a pro, is coming off a draw at Jungle Fight. Jungle Fight's a major organization down there. Besides that, though, was on a 2-fight winning streak, so 3-fight unbeaten streak here going in against Jerome Rivera. I feel like Jerome Rivera's range is going to be a problem here, and I think we should probably see Rivera winning this fight. I could potentially see him actually pulling off a decision win. I don't know about finishing Francisco Figueiredo, but I do think he beats him here. I know Figueiredo's brother, world champion, but I think Jerome Rivera has what it takes to win this matchup. Now, as far as the betting odds for this fight, let me quickly pull them up here. Francisco Figueiredo is the minus 142 favorite. Jerome Rivera at the plus 132 dog. I like a lot of dogs in these matchups here. I mean, I think Figueiredo has the name value, but does he have the tools of his brother? We're going to find out. I'm riding Jerome Rivera, though, to win this fight. I think he's an exciting prospect. Next fight of the night, Marcus Perez, who's always fun to watch, takes on Dolce Lembegabula. Lembegabula looks absolutely jacked. He's in incredible shape. As far as the betting odds for this fight, right now, Dolce's a minus 140 favorite. Marcus Perez, the plus 130 dog. I think Marcus Perez could win this fight. Dolce's, a decent fighter. I believe has a judo background, but I haven't been superbly impressed by him. Marcus Perez, very durable, a guy that takes a good shot. He is coming off a loss in his last fight. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the opponent, but I will quickly pull that up because I do want to give you guys the accurate stats here. Marcus Perez, 12-4. Yeah, he's coming off the loss to Dricus Du Plessis, who was the first man to ever knock him out. And that was a really impressive win. Dolce's last fight was a loss to Magomed Ankalaev. I think it's a fun matchup, man. I do want to see. It's at middleweight. It is at middleweight. It's not Marcus Perez moving up. Dolce is dropping down to 185. He looks incredible. But I think Marcus Perez could still pull it off and win this fight. I don't think it's easy. I think it's competitive. But I think Marcus Perez is a very skilled fighter. And he should win it by just a smidge here. And I do think he gets it done. As far as actually, let me see if the betting odds, if I did not just recently list them, let me quickly look at them. Right now, Marcus Perez, the plus 130 dog. Dolce Lembegabula, the minus 140 favorite. I like the dog in this fight as well. Zaruk Adeshev versus Sue Matarazzi. I will tell you guys right now, I don't have the dog in this fight, but Zaruk Adeshev is a very good kickboxer and not a guy you can sleep on. I know Sue has looked incredible, especially in his last bout against Malcolm Gordon, destroyed him on the feet. I think that Sue wins this fight, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as that fight against Malcolm Gordon. I think it's going to be a competitive bout at moments, but I do think Sue should win this fight. I could potentially see a stoppage, but I wouldn't be shocked with a decision win. I know Zaruk Adeshev got quickly knocked out by Tyson Nam, but Sue Matarazzi is not Tyson Nam, and I am still riding Sue, but I think it could be more competitive than the odds definitely have it, because they have it extremely widespread as of right now. And as far as weights, both fighters on weight, 126 for each of them in this very exciting flyweight contest. Next fight of the night, Gattello Perello takes on Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone, very aggressive wrestler, very skilled. Gattello Perenello. Let me quickly pull up his Tapology to give you guys a little more insight on his fighting history. All right, so Gattello, he's 15-5 as a pro, is on a 2-fight win streak, wins over Enzo Maria Ize and Pacey Herrera. Competition level has not been near what Ricky Simon has been consistently facing, and I feel like that definitely plays a factor. And put that together with Ricky Simon being a very heavy wrestler that can get on top, and also does have a win over Merab Divashvili, which I would say is pretty serious victory. I'm riding Simone here. He's also a massive favorite at a minus 455 to a plus 405 underdog. I like Ricky here. He did come in on weight, weighing in at 136 pounds, I believe. 136 for both men, actually. 136. So I'm riding Simone here. Should be a good matchup. Let's get to the next fight of the night. We got a lot of fights on this card, so I am trying to go through it as quickly as possible. Tom Breeze, Omari Akhmedov. Tom Breeze is an excellent boxer. Omari Akhmedov, very good wrestler. If you look at the fight against Chris Weidman, Akhmedov was fairly competitive and definitely had good moments. Tom Breeze, I mean, he's a big puncher. He hits very hard, and he's fun to watch. I like Tom Breeze a lot. He's a guy that you can enjoy watching his fights, and he's coming off a big win in his last fight against an up-and-coming prospect. I personally think that Omari Akhmedov grinds out a decision here. The weights, both at 186. The betting odds right now, if we can find them here, minus 160 favorite is Tom Breeze. Omari Akhmedov, a plus 150 underdog. I think they're sleeping on Omari Akhmedov, man. I really do. I feel like his wrestling game is no joke. And you have a close fight with Chris Weidman. Yeah, Chris Weidman is not the best in the world right now, but he's still a very high caliber fighter. And I am riding Omari Akhmedov to win this fight and pull off an upset here. Next fight of the night, Douglas Silva de Andrade. He takes on Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy coming off a really nice knockout win over Ricardo Ramos. For Douglas Silva de Andrade, I believe he's coming off a win over Renan Barão, which, I mean, it's a pretty good win for the legacy, even though Renan Barão's downfall was kind of tough to watch, honestly, because he at one point was one of the best in the world. Yeah, his last fight, win over Renan Barão, does have a loss to Petr Yan, does have a loss to Rob Font, and has a loss to Zubaira Tukhugov. 3 losses that aren't bad losses. Douglas Andrade is going to be the most legit test Lerone Murphy has faced, probably besides Zubaira Tukhugov. I think that it's a fun fight. I really am interested to see how this fight plays out. It's competitive, but I do think the size of Lerone Murphy, as far as height and reach goes, plays a factor. And I think that Lerone Murphy should actually get the win here over the very experienced 26-3 Douglas Silva de Andrade. I'm excited for this fight. I think it's a good one. I think it will be one of the better fights of the night. Lerone Murphy, a minus 290 favorite. Andrade is the plus 260 dog. Very widespread odds, which I think they could have been closer. But Lerone Murphy should get it done. I think the right guy is winning, even on the betting odds. All right, let's get to the next fight of the night. Tyson Nam and Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell coming off a very entertaining fight against Alejandro Pantoja. Tyson Nam, his last fight, coming off a big win. Be honest, let me quickly pull up who was against, because right now I'm having blanks with who that was against. We got too many fights on the card. I'm not able to remember each matchup. Right now, 20-11. He's coming off a win over Jerome Rivera, who we just talked about recently, who's on the same card, and also a win over Zaruk Adeshev, who's also on this card. I really like the style of Tyson Nam and Matt Schnell. Both guys come to fight strikers, very entertaining. Tyson Nam should win here. I think Nam could stop him inside of 3 rounds. I think that he's the superior kickboxer and he is the more explosive kickboxer. But Matt Schnell, game, in-your-face opponent. But there is a way to beat him, and he has been knocked out. I am riding with Tyson Nam to win this fight. I think he does get it done. And I think it's a fun one. I am excited to see how this fight goes. Let me quickly see if the betting odds are listed here. Tyson Nam is a minus 132 favorite. Matt Schnell at the plus 132 underdog, or rather plus 122 underdog. I like the favorite, Tyson Nam. I think he wins it, and I think he does so by a stoppage. Viviana Rujao takes on Roxanne Modafferi. This is an intriguing matchup here between these two girls. I mean, Roxanne has been at the top of the weight class, winning a lot of fights, competitive in fights, has taken some losses, of course, too, but she's always right near the top. Viviana Rujao, hot young prospect, definitely a contender now on the rise, and if she wins here, seriously pushes herself into the upper echelon of the women's division here. I think that we'll see Viviana Rujao win this fight. 126 for both girls, so they make the women's flyweight limit. I think Rujao is going to beat Roxanne Modafferi. As far as striking goes, Modafferi has never been the best. She's very good on the ground, but I think Rujao can compete and fend off her attacks. I am riding with an Rujao decision victory. Might not be the best fight of the night, though. I will tell you guys, I have seen Roxanne fight plenty of times. Not saying that she's a bad fighter, but there are some fights that are not the best. It's a lot of holding, a lot of clinch work. Potentially, though, maybe we'll get some exciting grappling exchanges. That's something that I would like to see out of these girls. And as of right now, yeah, Roxanne's a massive dog at plus 275 with a Rujao at a minus 305 favorite. I think the odds are a bit widespread, but still, I do think they have the right girl winning. And I am riding with a Rujao here. Now, Vincius Morea takes on Ike Villanueva, two guys that I would assume loser leaves town. Should be an entertaining matchup. Ike Villanueva didn't really get his chance to show what he had in his last fight against the Beverly Hills Ninja. He got a cut over his eye, and then the fight was stopped. Vincius Morea, I believe, is on a 3-fight losing streak, has taken some tough losses. I'm excited to see how this fight goes, and I'll be honest, I'm really leaning towards an Ike Villanueva second-round knockout. I think that's probably what's going to happen here. The betting odds have Ike at a minus 120 favorite, Morea at a plus 110 dog, so they're practically pick'ems, but I am riding with Villanueva. I think he lands the better strikes, and he hurts and puts out Vincius Morea inside of 2 rounds. Next fight of the night, Munir Laziz versus Warley Alves. This is actually the co-main event of the evening. Both men looking good shape, ready to go. Warley Alves, at one point, I would say, was a pretty hot prospect. Kind of hasn't lived up to that elite level status, but I mean, has still been a game fighter, winning fights, losing sometimes, but competitive bouts. Does have a win over Kobe Covington, which I'd say is a pretty big win. And Munir Laziz, exciting prospect, coming off the decision win over Hazak Al Hassan. That was when Al Hassan was all the craze and everybody was going hype about him. And then he ran into Chaos Williams and was put unconscious. But Munir Laziz was the first man to stop that hype train of Abdul Razak Al Hassan. And I think that Munir Laziz wins here. He's a very good kickboxer. He's going to be more dynamic than Warley Alves. If Warley could potentially get him to the mat, maybe get his back, or, you know, if he somehow gets a front headlock position and locks up a guillotine, but I don't think he's tapping out Munir Laziz unless Laziz puts himself in that situation. And I think Laziz should win this fight, probably by a unanimous decision, but we could see a knockout here, and I think we do have a fun fight on our hands. Minus 230 favorite is Laziz, plus 210 underdog is Warley Alves. I like Munir Laziz here. Now, the main event, Neil Magny, Michael Chiesa, both are on weight. Everybody on the card made weight, which is great to see. It's, I believe, 2 weeks in a row where everybody was on weight. Hopefully, Saturday the event does the same. Michael Chiesa, Neil Magny, fun fight, entertaining fight. Who wins this fight? Neil Magny is a very tall guy, but Michael Chiesa is looking him in the eyes. Now, I don't know, maybe Michael Chiesa has shoes on here. He's trying to maybe play some mind games. Hey, I'm as tall as you. But the reach advantage in the favor of Neil Magny. As far as striking goes, I give Magny the edge. As far as grappling goes, I give Chiesa the edge. But we have 5 rounds to work here, and I think Michael Chiesa's jiu-jitsu is very dangerous. His top pressure is heavy. Coming off a dominant win over Rafael dos Anjos, to me, that is a legitimately impressive win. That's not a fight that a lot of people believed in Michael Chiesa. That's a huge win, honestly. Rafael dos Anjos is still a top 10, top 7 contender at 155. And granted, yes, Michael Chiesa beat him at welterweight. Still a very impressive win and controlled him on the ground. Neil Magny does have a loss to Rafael dos Anjos. MMA math doesn't work, right? It doesn't always work. But I do think the grappling game of Michael Chiesa is extremely high level, and I do think Neil Magny is very good, but I think Michael Chiesa is actually going to win this fight. I think he's going to pull it off. I don't think necessarily it's a whitewash fight. I don't think it's domination. I think it's competitive action. I think that there's a lot of grappling here, and I think Michael Chiesa will be initiating most of that. And I think we could see Michael Chiesa potentially getting the submission win in the 3rd round here. That's what I like. I also like a decision win, but I do have Chiesa pulling off the victory in what should be a fun fight. As far as the odds, Chiesa's a plus 130 dog, Magny a minus 140 favorite. I'm riding underdog here. I think we're going to see Michael Chiesa, the slight dog. I'm riding a lot of dogs on this card. I do like the potential of a lot of upsets here, and I think Michael Chiesa will finish out the night with a very impressive upset, and he will move one step closer and really become a contender inside of this welterweight division, because Neil Magny is one of the top guys, and I'm very excited to see this fight. I am riding with Chiesa. That is the UFC Fight Island 8 full card predictions, betting odds, as well as the weigh-in recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry this video is a little bit late and I wasn't able to produce it sooner. A lot of cards, a lot of things going on. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, keep it tuned to MMA Experts. More predictions coming for this big fight this weekend with Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. Like, subscribe. If you want to play some bets, check out the MyBookie referral link in the description. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video.